Call the member for Baulkham Hills.
Mr Acting Speaker, the New South Wales Liberal Government and Mike Baird's team have been delivering for New South Wales, but particularly in my electorate of Baulkham Hills. The budget achieves a surplus and fulfils our infrastructure commitments. It's ironic that in 1985, Bob Carr and the Labor Party in the Carr Plan promised rail to the hills. It never happened. In 1998, Carr then promised rail to the hills again. He said it would be completed by 2011. It never happened. In 2005, Bob Carr and Labor delayed the rail to the hills until 2017. In February 2008, Morris Iemma and Labor cancelled rail to the hills. In March 2008, Morris and Labor promised rail to the hills to be completed by 2017 again. In 2008, Nathan Rees and Labor shelved the rail to the hills. In October 2010, Christina Keneally and Labor promised rail to the hills, with construction to start in 2017 and completed by 2024. It is no surprise that the people of Baulkham Hills are sick and tired of Labor. It is no surprise that they know what the rest of New South Wales does. You can't trust Labor on promises in infrastructure. By not delivering, Labor are unable to secure a long-term future for New South Wales, and they're unable to effectively plan development. Councillor Mark Taylor and other Hills Shire councillors are relieved that construction has started on the North West Rail Link, and the government in this budget is delivering the North West Rail Link. Liberal councillors and local MPs know that it is wrong to play politics with infrastructure because it stops councils and communities planning for the future. The budget includes $863 million to begin construction of the $8.3 billion rail link. We made a promise and we're keeping to it. The Liberal government is fulfilling its promises. Elizabeth, the boring machine. Not the member for Blacktown or Walt. This boring machine is Elizabeth, and it's working. It's come from France via China, and it's in the ground digging as we speak. She's begun work on the stations, and we've seen it on the front page of the paper this morning. Evacuation at Cherrybrook and Castle Hill State. Excavation of Cherrybrook and Castle Hill stations has commenced. The switchyard construction has also commenced. The people of Baulkham Hills can see that this is happening, and promises to the North West are being fulfilled. We're getting close to the job. We're getting along with the job, and the job of funding with an additional $7 billion has been earmarked. The project will also require an extending of the North West Rail Link to along the Second Harbour Crossing, which I know is a priority for the Minister and the Premier. The Treasurer has announced a plan to deliver the funds for the Sydney Rapid Transport line as well. He has used these funds for a long-term lease of the state's poles and wires to build a Second Harbour rail crossing as well. These are exactly the type of infrastructure projects and investments that the Hills have been crying out for, and of course it took Mike Baird and his team to deliver on these projects. One of my political heroes, Margaret Thatcher, allegedly said, quote, "A man who, beyond the age of 26, finds himself on a bus cannot count himself as a failure." Unlike Mrs Thatcher, I'm a big fan of the buses. I use buses, my wife uses buses, and my kids use buses. And that's why I'm delighted to announce that the budget of 2014 expanded buses to the Hills, with the M60 going from Parramatta to Hornsby, the T65 from Rouse Hill to Parramatta via the T-Way, the 602X Rouse Hill to North Sydney, 607X Rouse Hill to the Sydney CBD, 612X Kellyville to Milsons Point, 615X Kellyville to Sydney CBD, and the 601 from Rouse Hill to Parramatta via Kellyville. There will also be the introduction of a new bus route, 706, which provides from Parramatta to Blacktown via Winston Hills and Kings Langley. Our Liberal candidate for Seven Hills, Councillor Mark Taylor, and I have long recognised the need to increase public transport services to the community, and we're looking forward to being able to use this new service. Of course, the Opal card has enabled us to provide cheaper fares compared to using the former Travel 10s. The budget includes $157 million in rolling out the Opal card, and when the Baird Liberal government completes the North West Rail, it too will be Opal ready. We will be able to get anywhere in the Opal card. Labor promised it by the 2000 Olympics, and we were still waiting for it when they got booted out. The budget also sets aside $400 million in stage 1 of the Parramatta Light Rail, and over the coming months we'll be looking at routes, particularly those linking Parramatta with Castle Hill. I'm keenly following development of light rail in Western Sydney. Mr Speaker, it's not only the area of transport infrastructure that this budget has delivered us on. $15 million to begin the redevelopment of West End Hospital, which I know the Liberal candidate for Seven Hills, Mark Taylor, is very excited about, and he's had the Minister for Health out there to discuss this with the community. The upgrade of the hospital will cost $1 billion upon completion, and it will be the largest hospital redevelopment in the state. We're also looking forward to a $12 hospitals, new state-of-the-art operating theatres, extra inpatient beds, additional car parking, a new emergency services department. Mark Taylor is delivering for the people of Seven Hills even before his election. This comes after completing a $5 million upgrade of the existing services. This budget provided $81 million in continued redevelopment of Blacktown and Mount Druitt hospitals as well. And the Liberal government, of course, is investing in Western North Western Sydney only after years of Labor and neglect. Mr Acting Speaker, the Police and Emergency Services have also won with this budget. I know that Superintendent Rob Critchlow of the Castle Hill Local Area Command does an amazing job in the area. His effective policing requires boots on the ground. That's why this budget includes $153 million in recurrent funding over 4 years to employ additional police officers so we can increase the strength of our force. The budget provides $4 million to begin a rollout of body-worn video cameras for the police force. These cameras will make it easy to confirm that police have used appropriate force and will make it easy for them to establish facts when evidence is presented. I've spoken to community leaders such as the Liberal candidate for Seven Hills, Mark Taylor, who has told me that to make it easy to convict criminals who assault police and make it easy for police to get on with the job. As Parliamentary Secretary for the Centurion of Anzac, I'm very pleased that the government is investing in the Anzac War Memorial at Hyde Park and completing the vision set by Bruce DeLitt in adding the water cascade to the southern end of the memorial. Mr Acting Speaker, if Labor had their way, we wouldn't be delivering on such a strong budget. John Robertson and the Leader of the Opposition has opposed every saving measure that we have introduced. The Liberal government knows how to produce cost of living savings. I congratulate the Premier as well as the Minister for Energy, Anthony Roberts, in delivering a 1.5% reduction in electricity prices, which came into effect on the 1st of July. Labor opposed these measures, and they will have to face that reality at the election. The days of Labor neglect are over. This budget is a budget that has delivered on communities. It's a budget of a government that has rebuilt New South Wales. It's a budget of a government that believes in action. It is opposite that of a Labor budget. It is fiscally responsible and it delivers on infrastructure. We're fulfilling our promise to the people of the Hills to get New South Wales, make it #1 again.